Once upon a time, in a sunlit meadow surrounded by rolling hills and whispering trees, there was a clever crow named Colin. Colin had sleek, black feathers and a sharp, inquisitive beak. He was known throughout the meadow for his intelligence and resourcefulness. One hot summer day, Colin was flying over the meadow, feeling the heat of the sun beating down on him. His beak was parched, and his throat was dry from the lack of water. As he flew in search of a cool drink, he spotted something glistening in the distance. With renewed hope, Colin fluttered his wings and headed toward the source of the sparkle. When he arrived, he discovered a tall, narrow pitcher that had been left out by the humans. Inside the pitcher was a small amount of water, but it was too low for Colin to reach with his beak. The pitcher's narrow neck made it impossible for him to get his beak inside. Colin peered at the water with frustration. If only I could reach the water, he thought. I'm so thirsty. He tried to tip the pitcher over, but it was too heavy for him to move. He pecked at the water inside, but his beak couldn't reach. Colin's mind raced as he thought of ways to solve his problem. After a few moments of contemplation, Colin noticed some small pebbles scattered around the meadow. An idea began to form in his clever mind. He hopped over to the pebbles, picked up one with his beak, and flew back to the pitcher. Colin dropped the pebble into the pitcher, and as he watched, the water level rose a tiny bit. He tested the idea by dropping in another pebble. Slowly but surely, the water level continued to rise with each pebble that sank to the bottom. Colin kept working diligently, dropping pebble after pebble into the pitcher. As the water rose higher, Colin began to see the surface of the water. He was still not quite able to reach it with his beak, but he didn't give up. With persistence, he continued to add pebbles until the water level was finally high enough for him to drink. With a triumphant caw, Colin took a long, satisfying drink from the pitcher. The cool water refreshed him, and he felt much better. Colin's clever thinking had saved him from his thirst, and he was proud of his resourcefulness. Feeling grateful and content, Colin flew up into the sky, his feathers shimmering in the sunlight. As he soared over the meadow, he looked down at the pitcher with a sense of accomplishment. He had solved his problem with ingenuity and perseverance. The moral of Colin's story spread throughout the meadow. Where there's a will, there's a way. Even when faced with challenges, cleverness and persistence can lead to success.